The story begins with a girl named Zara Dunn who works at a bank called Lockmill Capital. Zara meets a new intern at her bank, Myrtle Clark. Zara tells her that they are a fiduciary pension fund manager. Organizations trust them to invest their pension money. Zara shows Myrtle around the company and introduces her to Luke, who works in trade processing. Meanwhile, a man named London and his team gather from different locations. They enter the elevator, put on their gloves, and load their guns. Arriving at the 27th floor, they hold the receptionist at gunpoint and force him to disconnect the calls. One of their partners disables all the security systems. Holding the receptionist at gunpoint, they threaten all the employees. At the same time, their other team takes the people in the committee meeting hostage as well. London orders everyone to raise their phones and move toward the conference room. They make them throw their phones into a trash bin. Just then, one employee tells one of the attackers that this is a SIG Sauer MPXK. If you fire it, the sound will reach the next building and you'll get caught. Have you even loaded it? Hearing this, the attacker strikes him in the face with the gun and kills him. After that, London tells the trade processing team employees to stand up. Hearing this, Zara stands. London calls Zara and Luke outside. He then hands them a pen drive containing details of 6 trades. He orders Luke to load the trades into the system. Luke loads the trades, which total $4 billion. Luke is unable to enter the trades because his hands are shivering. London puts him at gunpoint. Luke commits the trades and hands the pen drive back to Sniper. On the other side, the attackers ask who has the authority to set off the trade. Those people raise their hands. The attacker orders Kate to approve the trade and send it forward. Then the attacker tells George to approve it. The final approval is given by Milo Carter Walsh. After the trade is approved, London has Zara recheck the trades and send them to the custodian bank. But Luke says they have never transferred money from these accounts before, so the bank will call to confirm. Meanwhile, the receptionist named Glasses receives a call from the custodian bank. London tells Luke to put the call on speaker and answer it. Luke needs to assure the bank that all the trades are legitimate. But when the call comes through, Luke can't pick it up. He starts crying. Seeing this, Zara attends the call. The person on the call named Warren asks Zara about the accounts the trades came from, saying he's never seen these accounts before. Zara tells him there's some new hedge funds they're getting into. But Warren says $4 billion is a pretty large amount for new hedge funds. Zara responds that it's a bunch of funds from one manager they've invested with before. She says she was supposed to send all this yesterday, but she left early. And now if these don't get transferred quickly, she'll be in serious trouble. So she asks him to process them as soon as possible. Warren sends the trades through. Meanwhile, Donnie, who's sitting among the hostages, tries to signal employees in the other company through the window. But before those employees can understand Donnie's signal, the attackers spot him. The attackers strike his face with a gun. They ask Donnie if anyone in the other company saw him. But Donnie denies it. London does not believe him at all. One of London's partners says if they want to avoid the police, they need to leave now. London tells his other team partner Burley to check outside in the other building. When Burley looks outside, 3 employees from the other company are already looking in his direction. They're just planning to leave when the money gets transferred. The attackers lock everyone up, put their guns in plastic bags, and leave. Meanwhile, police move all the employees to another floor. Senior Investigating Officer DCI Reese Kovac comes to meet Zara. He takes Zara aside. Reese tells Zara they'll be taking her to Bishopsgate Station. She and several of her colleagues are key witnesses, so whatever she tells them will help a lot. Just then, Zara's nose starts bleeding. So Zara goes to the washroom where 2 employees are talking that the police think someone from the company itself is involved. Because the attackers knew about the bank systems, their protocols, trade management, getting signatures from the investment committee, and the custodian bank. Everyone thinks a bank employee must have been involved, otherwise the attackers couldn't have pulled this off. And whoever did this will either show up tomorrow in a Ferrari or won't show up at all. Hearing this, Zara sitting in the washroom starts laughing. The next morning, Zara wakes up and opens her laptop. She sees a new transaction of $5 million has arrived in her wallet. Zara transfers the entire amount to her cold wallet and hides it behind the refrigerator. Meanwhile, police discover that all the attackers were wearing prosthetics, making them extremely difficult to identify. Just then, Darren Yoshida enters. He's their financial investigator. Reese tells him he should have been here yesterday afternoon, but Darren explains he was only assigned this case an hour ago. Over at the company, Zara pulls Luke aside to talk. Luke is shocked to hear that $5 million landed in Zara's account. He says they only mentioned $100,000. Zara tells Luke to withdraw all his crypto and transfer it to a cold wallet. They need to do exactly what they were told. And here it's revealed that Zara and Luke were also involved in this heist. They're the ones who gave the attackers the login details. But Luke is terrified right now because everyone suspects him. Luke says they should go to the police and tell them everything. Just then, a woman comes over and tells Luke the detectives want to speak with him. Hearing this makes Luke even more scared. But Zara convinces him that if he tells the detectives anything, they'll either spend their lives in prison or get killed. After that, Luke goes to talk with the detectives. Reese introduces Luke to Darren. Darren asks if the company always keeps this much cash on hand. Luke says no, they were just doing a portfolio rebalancing. Darren asks if they do this regularly. Luke says once every 2 or 3 years. Darren points out that the thieves also knew the investment committee meeting was happening that day. Luke responds that the investment committee meets every single week. Reese asks Luke if there's anything else he wants to tell them, but Luke says he's told them everything and asks if he can leave. Reese hands him his card and tells him to call if he needs anything. Luke tells Zara they know everything. No matter what he says, they know he was lying. Meanwhile, Reese asks his senior why Lockmill and the custodian bank still haven't provided the details they requested. He says, "You mentioned you were putting pressure on them." His senior says there are many important things happening here that you can't even imagine, and walks away. Zara tells Luke to take a sick leave tomorrow morning and say it's stress. And tonight, when he gets home, transfer the money to the cold wallet and hide it somewhere safe. And don't call me or the police. I'll handle everything. Reese discovers the money was transferred to a bank in the British Virgin Islands, a private bank with no taxes. But withdrawing money from an account in another country isn't possible, and the money has probably already been withdrawn from that bank. On the other side, Luke arrives home. But some men were watching him. Luke could see them from his bedroom window. Luke takes his laptop and cold wallet and goes to sit inside his closet. Meanwhile, Zara picks up some groceries and goes to her mom's house. But from their conversation, it's obvious the two of them don't get along at all. Zara's mom doesn't like her one bit. Just then, their doorbell rings. While Zara's mom goes to answer the door, Zara slips into her childhood bedroom. She removes a wooden floorboard and pulls out a box from underneath. Zara places the cold wallet inside the box and hides it back under the floorboard. But her mom sees her there, so Zara makes an excuse about using the bathroom. After Zara leaves, her mom hears about the robbery at her company on the news. Just then, Luke calls Zara. He's terrified. Luke says he's transferred everything to the cold wallet, but he can't go outside to hide it. There are people watching outside his house, and there are cameras inside. Zara tells him he's too stressed. "Stay where you are, I'm coming right now." But the attackers were listening to everything Luke and Zara were saying. They had tapped Luke's phone. They've already made plans to kill Luke. London orders them to execute the plan. One of their partners disguises himself as a food delivery guy and goes inside, opening the parking garage gate. After that, they head toward Luke's room. Meanwhile, Luke calls Reese. Luke tells him he needs to talk about something, but he can't discuss it over the phone. "Can you come to my place?" Reese says, "I'm leaving right now." The attackers were listening to all of this too. Reese calls his teammates and tells them to check the unit behind the building as well. Make sure everything's secure. Zara has also reached Luke's building. Just then, there's a knock on Luke's door. The attackers break down his door and rush inside. But Luke tries to run from them, and in the struggle, he even attacks one of the thieves. Zara has reached the building entrance. Luke tries to escape, but the sniper chases him down. Sniper's partner takes the injured guy down in the elevator. Meanwhile, Zara is downstairs waiting for the elevator. When the elevator stops at Zara's floor, she sees blood all over the inside. Seeing this, she runs away. Just then, Sniper catches Luke. Zara watches as the sniper injects Luke with something, knocking him unconscious, and takes him away. But the sniper drops the injection bottle, which Zara picks up. And just as Reese arrives near Luke's building, he spots Zara sneaking out. Reese asks Zara how she was involved in this heist. Zara insists she had nothing to do with it. She explains that Luke called her sounding extremely panicked, so she told him she'd come over. When she arrived at the building, she saw blood everywhere in the elevator and had to run. Reese asks if that means they were pretty close. Zara confirms they were. Reese warns her that it's not just about Luke. If the people behind this saw her, she's in danger too. He asks if she saw anyone inside the building. Zara says no. Later, Ellie asks Reese about Zara. Reese tells her Zara's involved. He says to keep an eye on her while he runs a background check and tells Ellie to get her statement tomorrow. Meanwhile, Zara arrives home. Looking at Luke's photo, she remembers when he first told her about the deal. She had asked him where he met these people. Luke said he met them playing online games. Zara was skeptical. People he'd never met in person just told him while gaming that they wanted to hack a pension fund? Luke explained they needed 2 people for the job, which is why he was asking her. He said it was $100 grand. He tried convincing her their names wouldn't come up. They just have to provide some details. Luke begged her. He was in debt and needed her help. They only needed 2 people. But Zara still refused. Luke got frustrated and snapped at her, saying one day she'll end up just like her mother. Zara fired back that she'll switch teams on Monday and apply for the investment team. Luke told her they'd never take her. They don't see what he sees. To them, she's just a girl in a cheap suit with a third-rate psychology degree and no ambition. And that's never going to change for them. Zara left without another word. The next day, Zara interviews for the investment team. She gets rejected. After that, Zara agrees to Luke's plan, but only on one condition. She has to meet these people first, or she's not doing it. Luke agrees. The scene shifts to the present. Reese's superior tells him MI5 is getting involved in the case. Just then, an MI5 officer named Sam Fitch arrives. Meanwhile, Zara's researching how to remove bloody fingerprints from the vial. At the same time, Reese meets a man and hands him 20 grand. The man warns him the rest better come within a week, or he'll send collectors who don't care about uniforms. Reese agrees and leaves. Reese then goes to see Darren. Darren tells him Luke has 7 accounts, all over limit, but nothing suspicious. Zara's account has a low balance but also nothing unusual. Darren mentions the investment committee makes millions a year while employees like Zara earn 30 to 40 grand annually. He says the British Virgin Islands request is still in the queue, but maybe they could bypass it. Darren explains that over the years, there have been massive leaks like the Pandora Papers and Panama Papers. Some databases with leaked offshore account details are available online. He could cross-check for matches. Reese says they can't use that as evidence. Darren argues they can't just sit around either. Reese tells him to do it, but not here. Officially, he's working from home. Meanwhile, Zara buys some chemicals from a chemist. But when she gets home, Ellie and Sam are waiting to take her statement. Zara panics and tries to reschedule. Ellie insists they do it now. Zara goes inside and hides the vial under her purse. At the same time, Reese visits Zara's mom, Haley. She asks if he really thinks her daughter stole £4 billion. Reese says he's just worried about her. She's gotten mixed up with dangerous people. Haley scoffs. Zara's a low-level employee who can't even manage her own life. Acting like she chose this life is just for show. Deep down, it's eating her alive. Intelligence and failure make a deadly combination. It's possible Zara planned the whole heist if she put her mind to it. The problem is she never takes the leap. She's a coward. And why wouldn't she be, with a mother like hers? Reese asks when Haley last saw Zara. She says it's been months. After Reese leaves, Haley goes into Zara's room. Back at Zara's place, Ellie points out that according to reports, Zara was inside the building for 10 full minutes. But her story makes it sound like much less time. She also asks why Zara had her hoodie pulled up. Zara says it was cold. Sam notices the chemicals in Zara's purse. Ellie tells him Zara's definitely involved. But Sam says even if she is, she's not the real angle. The real angle is Luke and tracking down the money. He shuts down the idea of surveillance. Meanwhile, Zara was remembering the moment she first met those thieves. They told her they just needed to know about the trading system, account details, login credentials, and she'd earn more than 2 years of her salary. No one would find out she was involved. London said they weren't pressuring her, just asking her to think it over and let them know. But Zara still wasn't sure about going through with it. London told her to think carefully, and for now, it'd be best if they left one by one. Zara left first, followed by one of London's partners. Zara told her cab driver to follow his car. But the man turned into a building somewhere. Zara had already taken fingerprints off the vial. Meanwhile, Darren met with Reese. Darren told him the money had been sent to Gold Simmons' account, which was a shell company of the holding company. Someone had stolen £4 billion and transferred it to an offshore account of a defense contractor. Darren explained that accounts like these were used for paying bribes, but they couldn't report this upstairs. Reese suggested they leak it themselves. Later, Ellie came to talk to Reese. She told him Sam would refuse the surveillance request. Ellie said they didn't want them looking into Zara's angle. Reese told her to act normal and he'd handle it. Zara went to the same location where she'd seen London's partner enter. She managed to sneak inside. She went into a server room, showed the vial to the CCTV camera, and left it there. But as she was leaving, Dukhart spotted her. He asked how she got the address, but Zara ran. On the train, Zara called her mom, saying she was thinking of coming home for a bit. But Haley said she had a night shift, so Zara should come tomorrow morning. In reality, Haley was home. Meanwhile, Reese confronted Nichols, asking why his investigation was being sabotaged. Nichols said no one was applying pressure on him. Someone was threatening him. He told Reese that if he wanted to stay in the police after this case, he should step back without mentioning Nichols' name. Nichols warned that the lead officer on this case might not come out of it unharmed, especially someone like Reese, a man drowning in debt. His problems would be exposed to everyone. He advised Reese to resign from the case. Meanwhile, Zara arrived at her mom's house. She started heading to her room upstairs, but Haley called from downstairs, saying it wasn't up there anymore. Haley said no one would believe her if she told them £4 billion was hidden in her house and she didn't even know. Zara told her it wasn't £4 billion. Haley demanded $1 million in exchange for the cold wallet, but Zara wasn't willing to give her the million, and she left. When Zara returned to her own place, she saw people inside searching for her. She hid behind a car. Just then Reese showed up to get her. He told her the people who were about to grab her weren't thieves, they were MI5. Reese tells Zara that MI5 needs to know what she knows. They'll take her in, drag her through interrogation, torture her, or make her disappear. That's how they operate. Hearing this, Zara tells Reese the whole truth. She explains she only helped them because Luke asked her to. They said they were going to hack into something. She had no idea they were planning anything like this. Reese tells Zara he thinks they have the same enemies and the same goal, so they should team up. Zara asks what's in it for her. She'll help him catch the thieves, but then what happens to her? Reese explains that if the thieves are in jail, MI5 won't care about her anymore. She'll just be a name to them, not a target. He points out it benefits them both. She'll be safe from the thieves and MI5, and his investigation won't fail. Zara agrees. Reese tells her that to use the stolen money, they'd first have to pull it out of investments and convert it to cash. Only someone on the investment committee could do that. Zara says those decisions are made in committee meetings. Reese asks if she can get the meeting notes. Zara explains that George forgets all his passwords, so his PA Dahlia keeps all the passwords on her computer. She might be able to get them. Zara then hands Reese the fingerprint she took from the vial. She tells him she grabbed it before the vial was returned to the warehouse. The scene shifts to Dukhart, who shows everyone the CCTV footage of Zara and hands out the fingerprint vial. London asks how the vial ended up in Zara's hands. Sniper admits he accidentally left it there. Glasses says Zara knows the office address. Who knows what else she knows? Sniper brings in Luke. They ask him what he told his friend, but Luke insists he only told her what they asked him to. He has no idea how she found out the office address. London asks if Zara is trustworthy. Meanwhile, Reese takes the fingerprint to a lab friend who agrees to run it as a test sample overnight. It'll take some time, but no one will suspect anything. At the office, Zara asks her senior if she can change desks. She's assigned a new cabin. At his office, Reese is told by Nichols that they've found where the money is. It's at Gould Simmons. Someone called in with the information. Nichols orders Reese and Sam to go with Darren to interview Toby Gould. Meanwhile, Zara goes to a colleague and pretends to feel dizzy, asking them to get her some biscuits. As soon as they leave, she prints out all the passwords. Reese, Sam, and Darren go to speak with Toby Gould, but he refuses to cooperate. He says he doesn't know anything and won't give them access to his account. His PA mentions that the money that came into their account was transferred out within 10 minutes. Darren says in that case, Gould will have to hand over his bank statements. These are statements from the secret accounts he uses for bribes. They already know about them. Toby Gould says he's not going to listen to some accountant who's such a failure in life that he's working for the police. Darren fires back. He's not just an accountant. He's a highly skilled financial investigator, a chartered financial analyst, a chartered alternative investment analyst, and a certified financial risk manager. There are fewer than 100 people in the world with all three positions. His kids go to the same school as Gould's, but his kids pass the entrance exam. Gould kicks them out. Outside, Gould's PA tells them they agree with the analysis done on the case. They'll arrange to send the statements through their secure delivery system. The scene shifts to Sniper, who tells the group that Zara knows the office address. She might know about this place too. They should move. But London refuses. Everything will go according to plan. Luke overhears all of this from upstairs. That night, when Sniper brings Luke food, Luke tells him he was absolutely right. Luke tries to manipulate Sniper, saying he needs him more than they do. He's already gotten the money. But Sniper walks away. Meanwhile, Zara is reviewing the investment committee's risk report. She notices something, and just then Reese calls. Zara asks Reese to meet her at the office. She explains that the decision to convert all the money to cash was made in the investment meeting based on a risk report. But someone may have deliberately created a false report because they knew it would trigger the cash conversion. Only Kate or Milo could have done that. Milo's a bit clueless, but Kate is head of all risk management. No report moves forward without Kate checking it. If the risk report was wrong, she would have caught it. If anyone at Lockmill could do this, it's Kate. Afterward, Reese and Zara go out for dinner. Zara admits she didn't know it was such a big heist. She's trapped in this now. She doesn't even know why she did it. Maybe to shut Luke up. Or for the 100 grand she never even got. Reese points out they pulled off a £4 million heist and gave her nothing. Zara says they betrayed her. After the job, she got nothing. Later, when Reese goes to drop Zara off, he tells her she is smart, capable, resourceful, and tactical. And he's not the only one who thinks so. Zara asks who else thinks that. Reese is her mom. Zara gets angry. Why did you talk to my mom? She walks out. The next day, Zara is running simulations at her office. But as soon as she goes out for lunch, a man sits down next to her. He tells her the man on her right has a syringe in his hand. The syringe contains a poison that will kill her in 10 minutes. It'll look completely natural, like a heart attack. He tells her that when the man next to her gets up, she'll get up with him and get into the taxi waiting across the street. Zara does exactly that. She gets into the taxi. Meanwhile, Siren meets with Luke. Luke tells him he knows Siren hasn't gotten his money yet. He says he has $5 million and they could split it 50-50. Luke warns that staying here, Siren could die or get caught. But if Siren helps him escape, he's guaranteed $2.5 million. Siren starts to leave. Luke quickly changes his offer, all $5 million for Siren. But Luke clarifies he's not talking about his own $5 million. He's talking about Zara's. Zara meets with senior MI5 official Anna Maxwell. Anna tells Zara they know she's involved in the heist. They also know she's running her own investigation with DCI Reese Covey, and that she probably knows something no one else does. Anna says they want everything back the way it was. She demands Zara tell them everything she knows, or they'll kill her and make it look like an accident. Zara responds that she believes someone on the investment committee is behind this. She says she can figure out who in a day or two. In exchange, she wants to stay out of jail and keep her money. Anna says she can only offer a new identity, new passport, new story, new future. In return, Zara must give all information to her, not to Reese. Anna reveals that Reese is a gambler buried in debt. He's only after Zara's money. This is about survival. She needs to choose a side. Anna hands Zara her card and leaves. Zara goes to Reese's place. She asks how much debt he's in. Reese tries to convince her he's not after her money. He insists he's doing this because he needs to find out who's behind everything. Zara says she doesn't trust him. Something else is going on. Reese admits this job is all he has. If he loses it, all that's left is the poker table. He doesn't want to waste his entire life like that. Hearing this, Zara gets emotional and apologizes. They kiss and spend the night together. The next morning, Reese receives matches on the fingerprints. He shows Zara the photos and asks if she recognizes anyone. Zara goes through them all and identifies the sniper. When Reese gets to his office, he discovers the money was found in illegal offshore accounts linked to the Chancellor's family trust. Zara sees the same news at the office. One of her colleagues pulls her aside. He asks why she was running the risk modeling software all day yesterday. She's not even on the risk team. Zara explains that half the office was on leave, so she had to run risk reports for rebalancing trades. Her colleague tells her she's no longer allowed to use the risk modeling software. Zara then asks him how he even knew she was running risk simulations. He says he saw it in the logs. Zara checks the logs from the day the risk report was created. She discovers Milo generated the risk report. She goes straight to Milo and confronts him. She knows he did all of this. Meanwhile, Reese shows Ellie a photo of the sniper. He tells her they just need to find him, catch him, and leak his name to the press. It's the only way to keep the case from being taken away from them. Ellie asks for his background. Reese explains his real name is Morgan Churn. He's been convicted of theft before. He was released from prison 3 years ago and disappeared. He has an ex-wife and a daughter who lives in a care home. Reese knows Ellie will want to talk to her. Back with Zara and Milo, Zara says she saw the risk reports. Milo set everything up, then framed her and Luke. Milo denies it. He says they came for him first, then Luke, then her. He doesn't even know who they are. They only contacted him online. Zara threatens to give his name to MI5 unless he tells her everything. Milo says he has a number they gave him for emergencies. It's on a burner phone. He'll give it to her if she promises not to turn him in. Reese and Ellie visit Morgan's daughter. They tell Jenna they need to speak with her father. They just want to know if she's heard from him recently. Jenna says he called a few months ago. Ellie asks for the number. Meanwhile, Zara and Milo arrive at Milo's place. Zara asks how much money he got. Milo says 20 million. Zara says she got 100 grand. Ellie tells Reese the number Morgan called from was purchased at a newsagent in Didcot. Reese points out that's on the complete opposite side of London from where Luke's kidnapping car was found. No one would dump a kidnapping car that far away. Milo hands Zara the phone. She asks why they needed her when they already had 2 people, him and Luke. She realizes she was deliberately pulled into this so all the blame could fall on her. Zara demands the full truth or she'll take the phone to MI5 and give them his name too. Milo admits he and Luke knew the thieves would bring guns. They didn't make her part of that. The thieves selected her because they just needed a low-level employee. Milo says they plan to plant evidence against her and frame her, then kill her and make it look like suicide. Everyone would believe it because she's the biggest loser in the office. She was perfect for someone planning a heist. Milo tells her she only pretends to be happy with her life, Zara, but it's not true. Zara leaves. She doesn't answer Reese's calls. Reese discovers the location of the thieves' farm. The sniper arrives where Luke is being held and tells him it's time to go. He kills one of his own partners. But while the sniper is loading the car, Luke runs. The sniper chases him down and catches him. Zara meets with Anna. She hands over the number. In exchange, Anna gives Zara all the new documents. But she warns that if the location turns out to be fake, the documents will be red flagged and Zara will be arrested. Anna says Zara has 24 hours to leave the country, and she can't meet with anyone before she goes. After Anna leaves, Zara calls her mom. She says she needs to make a deal. Meanwhile, London learns the sniper has taken Luke. Zara goes to her mom and asks for the cold wallet. She connects it to her laptop, but the balance shows £0. Zara asks Haley if she tried to hack the cold wallet. Haley denies it. Zara explains that if someone tries to hack it, all the money disappears. All the money is gone. Haley panics. Zara accuses her of trying to hack the system to get all the money. But now they have nothing left. Zara storms out in anger. But later we learn that wasn't the real cold wallet. The real one is still with Zara. Meanwhile, when Reese arrives at the location, MI5 is already there. Reese asks Sam how they found this place. Sam tells him to go ask his girlfriend. When Zara gets home, Morgan takes Zara at gunpoint. Morgan had Luke tied up as well. Morgan pressed a knife against Luke's throat and demanded his cold wallet and passcodes, saying he'd let them both go if they complied. Zara told him she had a deal. Her cold wallet only held 5 million, but Milo's cold wallet contained 20 million. Zara tried to manipulate Morgan, explaining that 5 million was nothing. He'd have to leave the country, which meant needing a new identity, passport, extensive paperwork, and bribing countless people. For all that, 5 million wouldn't be enough. She offered to take him to Milo, and once he got Milo's cold wallet, he could let them both go. But Morgan insisted she give up her cold wallet and passcodes first, then he'd take the other 20 million. Zara handed them over. Meanwhile, Reese called Darren and told him to bring Kate and Milo Carter-Walsh's files to Lockmill's office. On the other side, London told everyone they had one more job to complete. When Milo arrived home, he found Luke and Zara there. But Morgan had already taken Milo at gunpoint from behind. He demanded the code to Milo's safe. Milo grabbed a pepper spray canister from the table. Morgan asked for the cold wallet passcodes. Milo said they weren't there, they were at Lockmill. As Morgan approached him, Milo sprayed pepper spray directly into his eyes. But during the fight, Morgan stabbed Milo with the knife. Milo died right there. Luke said he knew where the passcodes were. There was a secret place where they used to hide things. The passcodes were there. Reese had already reached Lockmill, but Darren wasn't picking up his phone. Then he saw Luke, Morgan, and Zara going inside. Inside, Morgan untied Luke's hands. Luke retrieved the passcodes and gave them to Morgan. But Morgan didn't leave. He loaded his gun to kill Luke, but Luke attacked him first. Morgan was knocked unconscious. Luke took the cold wallet from his pocket. Luke went outside to call the police, but Reese accidentally attacked him. Inside, Morgan had regained consciousness and attacked Zara. But then Reese came in. Morgan opened fire on them. Morgan went outside looking for Luke. London and his team had arrived by then. Zara told Reese that Milo was involved in all this, but he wasn't the mastermind. They'd gone to see him before coming here, and Morgan had killed him. London and his team found Luke unconscious in the elevator. Inside, Reese saw the MI5 cars. He tried to get Zara out, and outside Morgan attacked his own partners. Reese and Zara tried to escape, but London opened fire on them. Reese was hit by a bullet. London asked Zara where Morgan was. London came outside and told Morgan there was no need for any of this, but Morgan shot London too. A massive shootout breaks out. Reese tried to stop Zara from going outside, warning that MI5 wouldn't let her leave with any money. But Zara didn't listen. She took Reese's electric taser and left. Morgan saw Zara and opened fire, but Zara escapes. Zara attacked him from behind with the electric taser. They got into a physical fight, but Morgan was able to overpower her. Zara asked Morgan why he did all this. Morgan told her to go ask her police friend. As Morgan was about to shoot her, Zara attacked him again with the electric taser. Morgan died right there. Outside, Zara found Luke. Ellie and Sam arrived too. The scene shifted to 3 weeks later. We learned that all the theft at Lockmill had been blamed on Milo. By now, many celebrities having slush funds account has been exposed, including tax haven accounts of the Chancellor and the Goulds. At Lockmill's office, Warren from Custodian Bank called. Myrtle told Kate and George that the stolen money had been returned to their bank accounts. The scene shifted to Zara. Luke came to see her. Luke explained it wasn't their fault. They were just trying to save their lives. Someone tried to fight the system, to take back the money and teach the rich a lesson. They just got caught up in it. They did everything MI5 asked. They signed statements, gave up their cold wallets, and pinned everything on Milo. In return, they got to live freely. After that, Zara went to see Reese. She told him that before Morgan died that night, she'd asked him what the point of the robbery was. He'd told her to ask her police friend. Reese said he'd lost his job, debt collectors were after him, and he was selling his house. Did she really think he'd pull off such a huge heist? What kind of thief exposes his own crime? Zara apologized and said goodbye. But as soon as Zara left, Reese rushed to his house and looked at some documents related to the case. Zara went to the company to collect some belongings. Myrtle told her all the money had been returned. As Zara was leaving, Reese showed up. Reese told her he knew who it was. Reese took Zara to Darren. Reese told Darren they knew he'd done everything. The night of the shootout, Reese had called him to come there. Darren hadn't shown up, but the thieves had. How did they know? Reese asked who could do this. Someone with money who hated money. Someone who understood finance but despised it. Someone from a middle-class family who'd made a fortune. Reese pointed out that a week before the robbery, Darren had refused 2 new cases, something he'd never done before. He just needed to time the investigation perfectly so all the evidence came out exactly when needed. Because this was just a PR stunt. Darren answered yes, it was a PR stunt. One that changed the whole world. But Reese said nothing would change. Reese asked why Darren shouldn't go to jail. Darren placed his laptop in front of Reese. This was Willemstad Bank and Trust. He'd gained access to it years ago. A small bank in a small tax haven. This was everything, the entire bank. He'd moved all the money through this. It was just an idea. And who benefited from it? Our system wasn't built for 99% of people, yet everyone had to put their money into it, except for the ones at the very top. People were dying of hunger while those who decided these tax havens flew over forests in their private jets. Darren asked why he should go to jail when he was trying to stop people from dying every day. Darren said everyone knew how nasty the financial system was, how unfair, how damaging. But no one did anything about it. But when people's pensions were involved, everyone paid attention. Even the Prime Minister went on TV. Darren said he'd returned all of Lockmill's pension funds. But Gould Simmons's slush funds were in this cold wallet. This cold wallet held £10 million. Darren said he was making a point. This cold wallet contained black money. But what if he donated this money to charity? Darren said maybe they should just try to make something good come from this. That meant living good lives, supporting good causes, or paying off gambling debts. Darren told Reese to take the money. He'd understand that meant Reese agreed, and he'd never cross his path again. Zara and Reese walked back outside. Reese said they just turned down £10 million. His house was about to be sold. Zara showed Reese Milo's cold wallet, which contained $20 million. All clean money that Darren had nothing to do with. And with that, friends, this story comes to an end. Let us know in the comments how you liked the explanation, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.